Hey, what's up, viewers? Patrick from Ball vs. Only back with another YouTube video. This episode number 2 of Good Friends Week on Ball versus of the Day. Today's verse comes out of Luke 6, verse 31, and it says, "Do to others as you would have them do to you." And that's what that verse means, and let's get right into it. It's time for our church recap. And we're going to start in Revelation. This is kind of a rerun from last Sunday, but Glenn talked about this topic on the radio. And he talked about the mark of the beast and where it was mentioned in Revelation, or where it was mentioned in Revelation. So, the first example of this, and here's where it's first mentioned, in Revelation 13, verses 16 through 17, says, "It also forced all people, great and small, rich and poor, free and slave, to receive a mark on their right hands or on their foreheads, so that they could not buy or sell unless they had the mark, which is the name of the beast or the number of its name." Now, if you read verse 18, it's mentioned. What it's mentioning is the number of the beast, which is, or the number of the name of the beast, 666. And now another verse that mentions the mark of the beast is Revelation 14, verse 9. And it reads, "A third angel followed them and said in a loud voice, 'If anyone worships the beast in its image and receives its mark on their forehead or on their hand,'" in Revelation, and finally Revelation 16, verse 2 says, "The first angel went and poured out his bowl on the land, and ugly festering sores broke out on the people who had the mark of the beast and worshipped its image." And that's all for the verse portion. And now we're going to get to the sermon that Rob preached yesterday. And we're going to start in 1 Peter 5, verses 5 through 7. And here is what it says. "In the same way, you who are younger, submit yourselves to your elders. All of you, clothe yourselves with humility towards one another, because God opposes the proud, but shows favor to the humble. Humble yourselves, therefore, under God's mighty hand, that he may lift you up in due time. Cast all your anxieties on him, because he cares for you." Something to note, verse 5 is mentioning a verse that was mentioned, or a verse from Proverbs 3, verse 34. And now the main verse of this sermon was Galatians 5, verses 1 through 15. And here's what it says. "It is for freedom that Christ has set us free. Stand firm then, and do not let yourselves be burdened again by a yoke of slavery. Mark my words. I, Paul, tell you that if you let yourselves be circumcised, Christ will be of no value to you at all. Again, I declare to every man who lets himself be circumcised that he is obligated to obey the whole law. You who are trying to be justified by the law have been alienated from Christ. You have fallen away from grace, for through the Spirit we eagerly await by faith the righteousness for which we hope. For in Christ Jesus neither circumcision nor uncircumcision has any value. The only thing that counts is faith, expressing itself through love. You were running a good race who cut in on you to keep you from obeying the truth. That kind of persecution does not come from the one who calls you. A little yeast works through the whole batch of dough. I am confident in the Lord that you will take no other view. The one who is throwing you into confusion, whoever that may be, will have to pay the penalty. Brothers and sisters, if I am... Wait. Actually, I'm good. Brothers and sisters, if I am still preaching circumcision, why am I still being persecuted? In that case, the offense of the cross has been abolished. Here's verse 12. As for those aggregators, I don't think that's right. Agitators. I wish they would go the whole way and emasculate themselves. Alright, verse 13. You, my brothers and sisters, were called to be free, but do not use your freedom to indulge the flesh. Rather, serve one another humbly in love. For the entire law is fulfilled in keeping this one command: love your neighbor as yourself. If you bite and devour each other, watch out, or you will be destroyed by each other. And that's all for the verse portion. Now, I do apologize. I read an extra verse. Actually, I think that was one of the verses that I wrote down. Anyways, so the notes: His grace is enough. Begin to surrender to Him, and there is always a solution. And the verse to leave you with today, in Philippians 1, verse 9 through 10, it says, "As this is my prayer, that your love may abound more and more in knowledge and depth of insight, so that you may be able to discern what is best and may be pure and blameless for the day of Christ." And that's going to do for the video. Thanks for watching. And until next time, meet again, viewers, in every way, God's way is always the best way.